going on, heroes? Welcome back. I want to move this. Yeah, that's fine. Move that over. Okay. There we go. Now I can see. All right. So, got a couple things we want to accomplish. We got a bunch of quests that we're going to try and do on our Necromancer here. We've got some dungeons that we want to do. We want to work on some more of our enchanting, some more of our cloth working. If we can get into another... actually, we'll go ahead and spam it. Let's see. DPS, looking for group, MS. Lovely. See if anybody's trying to run one. For today's live stream, I came up with 20 questions. There are 4 here on Ascension WoW specifically, but if you have other questions, feel free, chime in, ask me whatever you want. Today is a Q&A kind of day. I feel like that would be... let's just do that. Set it for that. That. Okay. That's fine there. Okay. Whew. Just trying to get everything, make sure everything is set up and ready to rock and roll, because, yes, accept. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. Okay. But yeah, so, goal is, while we're doing quests, before they turn this into a raid, and even if they do turn it into a raid, we can still try and find some humanoids that will drop cloth for us. There's supposed to be a quest in this house.
Well met.
Okay. There's only one quest here that we're not doing, and it's because it takes us to a dungeon. And it's a dungeon we're already going to do. At some point, we'll probably end up doing this. And they want us to go take out Dexter and Ward, and they are in the prison cells. So we'll end up taking out Dexter and Ward when we get there anyway. Ooh, we have a skill point. I don't remember having a skill point. Alright, pop this back over. So we've got, here's what we want to do. We want to look for Arctic. Why am I having Arctic? I always forget that it's Arctic, not Arctic. Alright, so these are the nodes that we have to hit for our Arctic Blast. And then we also want to increase Ice Barrage. So we've got here, here, and here. So this one would be good now. These are going to be the 3 that we want to collect later. And then we got to get over here to Soul Freeze if we really want. And then we change that out for Ice Barrage.
Welcome to Manastorms.
Wow, started that early.
Going, but good luck.
So we know we need this one. We've already got those. So we need this. And it's this one right here. So we need Ice Quake. Now remember, we've got it set up to where we cast certain skills, we get access to instant casts of Ice Barrage. And Ice Barrage is our biggest hitter. Question. We have, what made you choose the Frost Necromancer for this run? Well, primarily I've leveled a Frost Necro already to 60. And so it wasn't that big of a deal to level a new one for me. Plus, they've made a lot of changes. Like, there's another Frost Necro right there. And actually, we have all three of us are Frost Necro. It's one of those deals where, you know, I've leveled one. I wanted to see what the changes were to it. The real problem that we're seeing right now, primarily, is the fact that we can't get enough procs.
And that's how you do it. One portal coming
That's
up.
why these guys are absolutely crushing me. Lich Frost, Ice Barrage. See how that's the top three? Lich Frost, Ice Barrage, Arctic Blast. Ice Barrage, Lich Frost, and Arctic Blast. So I need to get my Lich Frost level. Literally come over here and grab this guy right here. Respect. I can go over to build, and he's got psychotic. Like, what level is this guy? 47. Yeah, he's way ahead of me. Level 11 teleporter. I'm not worried about it. This guy is level 28. So I mean, you can see the path that he's taken. I was asleep for that, almost that whole time. But yeah, so for me, it's more about coming back and relearning the class, seeing what's changed over the last little bit. And then basically just going on from there. goal isn't to do the best DPS damaging I can do, but I am interested in at least showing you my thought process in it. And, you know, that's what's got me interested in it. Mainly just coming back, seeing what it is, the change, if anything, a lot of things change. But yeah. Now the neat thing is I don't know if you guys are running a full yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to do everything at once and answer the question. Oh my gosh, I did like 2 attacks off. These guys are hitting so dang. Like, look at this guy. How's he still getting damage?
Now we're cooking.
Little Lush, right? Click him. Inspect. Yeah. So this dude. Oh well, no. Yeah, he's wearing all bind on account gear too. It looks like, but he's level 53. So. Alright, question number 2. If you could create your own custom spell in Ascension, what would it be? I mean, if we want to stick specifically to the Necromancer class, a way for us to walk on water would be cool. Outside of that, being able to I haven't really thought about what kind of spell like walking on water for a frost necro seems kind of a no-brainer option there, but what would I want to make? I mean, I know, and I've said this in several videos, what I'd really love is a pet like our loot bot that does profession gathering. You know, I'm not saying make one that's going to sit there and blacksmith for me or leatherwork for me. No, I don't care about that. But I want one that, you know, if I have skinning as a profession, and I kill something that can be skinned, able to skin it, I'd like that item to do that for me. So this fight is just going to focus going back and forth, only popping skills as they come up, but only worried about why am I not attacking? I'm only worried about Lich Frost and Ice Barrage, and then only popping Arctic Blast when it procs. Now that might end up being a terrible idea, simply because that can get stupid expensive on runic energy.
So, Inquisitor Whitemane.
Ice Barrage, Lich Frost, Touch of the Grave, Grave Mage, Arctic Blast. Let's see, well, they got the same. Lich Frost, Ice Barrage. Okay. So, yeah, that seems to be the go-to rotation. But yeah, if I had to pick a spell,
train is full. My champion.
Sorry.
I'm curious, like, if you guys play Ascension, what kind of spell would you want the mod creators to do? You know? Why is he in? Somebody ran in the room and now the doors are shut. I don't know who's in there. My mages are doing stuff, so I'm slowly getting damage. But yeah, I don't know. I'm curious what kind of spells you guys want to do though. Like, I think having the ability to levitate or walk over water would be nice. While we wait, let's make sure that we're all buffed up. I like how, if you actually look at that weapon, that is just a giant straight razor. Like a legit giant straight razor. Question number 3. What's your favorite moment you've had in Ascension so far? I think my favorite moment in Ascension... that was rough. Favorite moment in... Oh wow, that thing insta-died. Okay. Favorite moment... Probably the first time I had my very first frost lich do 1,000 damage on one hit. Oh look, I got brainwashed. Oh, okay. Yeah, so now brainwashed. Did it seriously just summon crap I did?
You made that look easy.
Yeah. I'd say that's probably the best moment for me. Go in the wrong direction. Hands down has to be when the very first time we got our first Frost Necro up to oh, it's a relic hunter. These are basically loot goblins from Diablo. But yeah, arguably the best feeling I've had in the game, my best moment, was when we actually got our first 1,000 point damage on a single hit. It felt really good because it made me feel like I actually understood the class enough to where I could do something like that. So getting seriously. I'm gonna take it that we don't have healers. Just a shot in the dark.
Down and out. Let's roll.
Tell you, I'm a huge fan when it comes to AoE damage now. The Pyromancer is arguably my favorite AoE. Don't care about the Anchor Spirits. Question 4. Would you rather control fire, ice, or shadow if you were a real mage? That one's tough. I mean, shadow sounds fun. But if I only have those 3 options, I know this is kind of on the nose because we're playing the Frost Necro, but I'd see fire. I personally don't like being cold, so I would 100% rather control fire so that I can stay warm when necessary. We've leveled up quite a bit. Next run, we're gonna have to start putting points in our tree, I think. proc sometime this week.
Alright, one portal coming up.
That's the downside for me, is I don't feel like I'm getting enough procs. Okay, so Ice Barrage. I know we need this one, but let's see. Ice Barrage. Stop it. Ice Barrage now reduces the cooldown of Ice Quake by 1 second and the cost by 5 units power, stacking 5 times for 8 seconds. Ice Quake, impale up to 40 yards affected by Death Chill. I can't remember if how I'm spreading Death Chill. Glacial Shift.
Did you stand in the fire? You stood in the fire, didn't you?
See, that's good. Like, I want this one.
That looked like it hurt.
Frostlight increases crit strength on with Frost and Ice Barrage by 4. Okay. We definitely need Frost Octolite. Command skills to archers. If they start putting this in the set, will also deal 400 units to your primary target, piercing and bonus. Lich Frost now increases damage of Ice Barrage by 5%, stacking 5 times for Frost. See, I like this one and I like that. As much as I would like to get this, the thing I'm looking at is Ice Quake, Death Chill. What gives us Death Chill? Death Chill? So if I was to leave this alone, Bone Freeze, it would... I don't care if I'm not helping do damage right now. So this and this have to work together. But if I'm not running this, this is pointless. Let them keep going. Okay, so... Bone Freeze no longer roots enemies, but Ice Barrage now increases the damage the target takes from Bone Freeze by 5% stacking stun. See, I like that. That's good, because it's helping our Ice Barrage. So, let's go back to Ice Barrage. Don't care about that. That one does not matter to us. This does matter. So... as much as I don't need the skill point, I need to put a point here. So I can take the point out of here, put it there. I still get left with 2 points. We can grab Arctic Blast, now deals 50 frost damage every 1 second for 8 seconds.
You know, Black Rock Depths might be my favorite hellish pit of ash.
We're gonna grab that.
In the middle of a volcano beneath a mountain home to 2 of Azeroth.
Lich Frost now increases damage to Ice Barrage, stacking 15 times, like that. Increases the critical protection by 4%, like that one better. Now applies Ice Burn to enemies. Direct damage dealt by command spell. Deals 58 and everyone increases Frost critical strike against the enemy by 3% for 2 seconds. That was good. Each Grave Mage now increases the critical. So I'm gonna do this one first. Come on. Uh-oh. I'm lagging. I'm lagging. Yes, thank you.
I guess you could say that didn't work.
Increases magic damage. Lich Frost now increases magic damage taken by your enemies with 3% effect. Unholy champion plus angry periodic damage as part position makes your Lich Frost. Okay. There we go. half of the fire golems getting. What was that? I got 3 frost in a second. Oh, I am. Okay. Somebody went straight for the boss. All right. Interesting. Look at the spell.
Time to get going.
There we go. Look at that. Okay, so we've got this pinned down now. Okay. Okay. Now we just keep boosting these 2. That's all we need to do. Just keep boosting those 2. Oop. A whole bunch of lich frosts right there at the end. Alright, we're up to rank 17.
You're down, but not out, right?
So next question: what's your go-to strategy when entering a dungeon? Number 1, make sure I know who the healer is and who the tank is.
That looked like it hurt.
See, I can tell you right now, we don't have healers in this party. If we did, they are not good healers. So I think we're all DPS. With one or 2 tanks. So it's not going well. I'm not sure how much further in this we can go, but my go-to strategy is number 1, figure out who my healer is. Number 2, figure out who my tank is. Make sure I stick close to the healer and away from the tank. Like that's it. That's all I got. Look at that. Yeah, we're getting up there. We're getting up there. I'm liking this. Did we level? Yes, we did. Command skeleton Warrior and Command Abomination by 20% doesn't help us. Summon a Replicant does not help us. Unholy Champion does not help us. Yeah, will grab. Let's see. Damage dealt by the. Yeah, there we go. Oh wait, no, never mind. Has a 20% chance. I don't care about that. I'll grab this just for giggles. We're not gonna ever use it. Stay out of all the stupid circles. Oh, poor Lelouch. I could resurrect him. Dang. Yeah, as far as my go-to strategy, very simple in a dungeon. If I don't know the boss fights, ask. Be like, hey, I don't know these fights. Can someone explain them to me? So I've been away for a long time. So I mean, it's possible that some of these bosses are gonna have mechanics that I'm not familiar with. You know, especially if I get into like raids and stuff. Guy, I want to stand right here so that when he does his knockback, I don't get knocked back. That's an easy go-to strategy. Like, I think a lot of people need to understand that if you don't know a boss fight, do not be afraid to say, hey, I don't know this fight, can someone explain it to me? Yeah, you're gonna deal with people that are like, oh my god, noob, bro, ignore them. Like, who cares? Okay, that was kind of dope. Oh, somebody gave us water walking? Really? When your tanks don't know where to go. This is what I'm talking about, by the way. If you don't know the fight for what to do, look or ask people that are not following you. But yeah, that's my go-to thing. It's not very difficult. You know, if you're in a guild and you guys are doing a raid for the first time, my recommendation is to look up videos of people who've done the raid. We used to do that all the time when we were raiding guilds. Like, oh hey, we're gonna take down, or we're gonna do Frozen Throne raid tonight. Make sure you're familiar with the fights. And so, like an hour or 2 hours before we would go do the raid, I'd pop open, I forget the name of the guild, but they were doing videos well before it was popular to do that on YouTube. They started, I think they were one of the very first guilds to go, hey, if we record how we're doing these boss fights, we can show other people how to do them. And learn it. But yeah, we go watch them. I want to say it was called Tank Squad. Tank. But that's another thing I'll do. If I know I'm going to be doing something I'm not familiar with, I'm going to go see if I can find a YouTube video on it. And just go from there, you know? And our tank's done. I'm about to leave this group. We have no healers. Our tank is not paying attention. Level 32 though. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and leave this group. Leave Manastorm. Yeah. Got another 11,000 Bonzo bolts and 2,500 Marks of Ascension. So, if you're looking for an easy way to make Marks of Ascension, there you go. that was relatively easy, and we slowly started to figure out our build. Alright, before we go running off, we're going to need to empty out our bags. Going to keep any cloth we've gotten. I can sell that cloth. That's rune cloth, got to keep it. These do not affect us in this version of the game. I wish they'd stop giving us that nonsense. What do you have for me? Epic writing? Oh, dude, I'm so far away from having the gold for that. That's not even funny. When? Was planning on streaming, so I already ate. Let's see. All right, we can sell all this. Or actually, we want to break as much of this down as we can. All right, so I'll go through a few more questions, and then I guess we're going to go eat, even though I won't be that hungry. All right, so we were on question 6. What is your favorite class, fantasy, and WoW lore, and why? Honestly, I like. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge knowledge buff when it comes to WoW lore. I do like Death Knights, especially. Okay. Which one is it trying to disenchant that I can't disenchant? Looks like I'm gonna have to do it myself. Death Knights were really cool. I wish they could bring in an actual like version of the Death Knight here. That would be really nice. but it's not a necessity. I can go now if y'all want. Just won't be super hungry. So yeah, Death Knight, simply because it's an amazing tank. I liked it. I liked it for the tanking. I liked it for the DPS aspect of it. I played a lot of Death Knight back back when I was playing retail. C7. If your Necromancer had a pet name for their undead minions, what would it be? Skeletrons. 1000% would just be Skeletrons. I don't remember where I heard that, but ever since I've heard it, that is my go-to nickname for any skeleton. Is just they are Skeletrons. Ooh. The phone slid to the floor. So yeah. Let's see. 8. How do you handle a wipe or bad pull on stream? Any secret recovery tactics? Well, number one, I don't tend to tank when I am on stream. Mainly because I don't know all the fights. I don't know the mechanics that were added for Ascension WoW. So I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, here, let me be the tank, and then massively goof up. But again, this is where communicating with the people that are in the party with you or in the group with you is extremely essential. If I am the tank and I go, hey, oh, that would have helped to do a little bit more damage, was to put them in DPS mode. But if I was to be the tank, you know, nope, that is not where the bad guy is.
Can I help you?
I would just tell the group, hey, look, I don't know these fights. I apologize in advance if I mess something up. If there's any key information I need to know, say so. I'm not afraid to let people know that I have no idea what I'm doing. One of the tricks I learned when I was in sales, and I use this for years, is people understand if you say, hey, I'm new, or I don't know, but I will get you that answer. It is a very crucial thing that you can do so that people don't easily get offended by simply saying, hey, I don't know. If you know the answer to it, I'm more than happy to listen.
What are you looking for?
But if you don't know the answer, give me a minute and I can find an answer. And telling people you're new is not a bad thing. Don't be afraid to tell people, hey, I'm new to this. I don't know what I'm doing. So if I say something dumb, you know, I apologize. But, you know, we'll make sure that it gets taken care of. So just, yeah, that's how I do it. How do I handle if somebody else does a bad pull, though? I'll call them dumb on stream. I don't care. If you're not paying attention, if you're the tank and you pull and your healer is already said in chat twice that, hey, I'm not ready, do not pull, and you're like, and you just run and pull, yeah, you're dumb. Like, there's no way around that. So yeah, I don't tank, and I'll call you out on it if you aren't paying attention. What's one spell or enchant you wish worked better for Frost and Necro? Well, number one, we haven't gotten our enchanting up high enough for me to be able to see that. One spell I wish worked better. I wish that this didn't have such a steep increase to runic power the more you use it. Once you get to about 8 stacks, you're using about half your runic power just to cast this one time. If you're going to do that to me, give me more damage out of it as it increases too. It's not the damage scaling does not scale well enough with that. plan is for today. I don't even know. I just wanted to sit here and stream and I was up till 4 o'clock looking for a job yesterday, so much fun. Number 10 is where we're at. What's the most underrated skill or combo in your build right now? I don't know, honestly. I think being limited to the number of summons I have is kind of an issue for me, but we are getting the increase damage now from having these guys. I'll go to the mall. So yeah, just having more minions I think would be good, or not giving everything such a long cast time. That's a 1.5-second cast. This is the fastest cast rate I have, and then this is almost 2 seconds of a cast time. So lower my cast times. You know what I mean? Do you prefer PvE, PvP, or RP in Ascension, and why? I think it's well documented. Oh, wait. Oop, I skipped a question. Sorry. If your viewers could choose your next build, what wild combo would you try? Honestly, if you guys want to pick a build for me, pick it. I'm okay with that. You know, I'll play whatever you guys want to see. Do I prefer PvE, PvP, or RP in Ascension, and why? I think it's well documented. I prefer PvE. I am terrible at PvP. I don't like it. It can be fun sometimes. But more often than not, it's kind of frustrating. Let's see. Number 13. What's your favorite transmog look you've rocked? Honestly, I like my fire transmog. Like, I'll show it off real quick. It won't work with this build simply because my lich form takes over. Ignore the sword. This was for a different character. But yeah, this right here is probably my favorite transmog so far that I have anyway. I've seen some really cool transmogs. I just don't spend the money on them. Have you ever pulled off a clutch save with a frost spell? Tell the story. Unfortunately, with this character, no, I haven't. With our Fellsworn, actually, with both the Fellsworn and the Ranger, we have actually done. Then what was the? All right, whatever. Makes no sense, but fine. Both the Fellsworn and the Ranger have both had their moments to save the day, so to speak, when the tank went down and it was just me and a healer. So it was really, really good. So yeah, that was you know, with the Fellsworn, I'm doing a caster, so that build doesn't really have a running gun style that I like. But the healer was able to keep me alive long enough that my big hits could take down the target. It was almost dead anyway, but it was better than taking a whole wipe. And then for the Ranger, I've kited a boss around because the tank died and I was out DPSing the other 2 DPSers. So I was keeping aggro, and I'm literally just running in a circle in this room. We took out the tank that way, or took out the boss that way. If you had to replace Frost with another element, what would it be? For this guy, it'd be interesting to have a Fire Necro, or a Lightning Necro. That would probably be the 2 that I would recommend. What's the hardest boss or dungeon you've faced with this build? Honestly, we haven't really had that many hard bosses. because we are doing Manastorms primarily, so we don't really have to worry about like hard bosses because we're playing with like anywhere between 10 to or 5 to 10 other people in a group. Like the one we were just doing was 5 extra people in our group. Well, I guess technically it would have been 9 other people in that group. We made the 10th, or 11 other people if you want to look at it that way. But yeah, so really not really a hard boss. Mechanics wise, all the bosses can be tricky for every build, just because you really got to understand where you need to be standing, and when you have a caster like this that needs to stand and deliver, it could be a little tricky on bosses that have major knockbacks or get kited away from you and stuff like that. If Ascension added a new Necro-only zone, what would it look like? It would look like the Undead Zone. Just be full of ghouls, skeletons, demon dogs, things like that. It would just be an entire zone of undead. So, things like that. Things like that. Would your character be a villain, anti-hero, or misunderstood legend? We're a Necromancer. We're 1,000% automatically a villain. But I think we are a villain that would turn into an anti-hero. Because sometimes, even in like D&D, Necromancers never start out trying to be the bad guy. They typically are looked at as being the bad guy because they they bring back the dead. But I feel like my character personally would be villainized by everyone, and he would take that energy and try and find a way to help people, but in a way to where they don't realize he's helping, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's what I would think there. What's your dream team comp to run content with in Ascension? Honestly, my dream team right now, and I want to do this, but I don't have enough friends that play. I think my best composition to run, and it's all DPS, unfortunately, would be I want to do a Frost Necro. I want to do the Pyromancer, a Primalist, specifically the Terra Mage, and then I also want to do a Lightning Caller, or what's the class called? Storm Caller, Lightning Caller, the Lightning Mage class. I think having those 4, you'd be able to clear any content you want. The Necromancer can have the minions that semi-tank. They don't really hold that much aggro. But just having them aggro something for a little bit would be nice. And then the other 3 would just be pure beating stuff down as fast as possible. And I think it would just be fun. I said this in a stream yesterday where I think it would be really fun to have a guild just called Earth, Wind, and Fire. And it's literally just those 4 classes in that whole guild. I find that to be funny. And then number 20, last but not least, what tips would you give a new player wanting to try Frost Necro? Don't get upset when you're not top DPS out the gate. You probably never will be top DPS. There are going to be situations where you will be top DPS, but overall you probably will never be the top DPS, and you have to be okay with that. This is a pet build that is designed to slow enemies. It is designed to do a little bit of dot damage, but primarily it's a heavy hitter. it's a sustained DPS build, not a burst DPS build. So just bear that in mind. If you're going to play the Frost Necro, which I recommend, play it. It's fun. I'm having a blast doing it. But I highly recommend that you just understand that you will never be the top DPS, and you will be squishy starting out too. Until your minions can hold off enough aggro from you, you will be squishy. Period. End of story. You're gonna get hit. You're gonna get hit a lot, and it's gonna hurt. And then make sure you use buffs. This is the biggest thing that frustrates me, is it's not automatically putting my buffs. Like the Fetid Shield, we had to put that down here. I didn't even know we got that. We now have the Abomination that we can summon. But I don't really care for that. You know what I mean? We got this just because it's funny. Foul Mandate also was never automatically put on our bar. Like, it would be nice if it could automatically be put on our bar, or pop up an actual message that says, hey, you just unlocked this skill. Stop putting it way down here where it flashes once and goes away. Like, no, I want to see all the skills that show up. You know what I mean? Like Transfer Life. This uses up my mana to heal my pets. So, now that uses a crap ton of mana, by the way, but like, that's a skill the game doesn't tell you you have access to. So, but yeah, those are my 20 questions. If you guys have questions, make sure you just leave that in the comment section below. And yeah, you know what I mean? Just I don't know what else we can do. I wasn't really planning on this going for super long today, at least for this video. You know, we ended up getting a lot of really good skills out today, but I think yeah, my main goal was, I was hoping that I would get people in during the stream to ask me questions while I did the 20 questions over here, but it's one of those things, and I get that, you know, it's a Sunday. It's like 3:30 in the afternoon, so people are out doing stuff. But yeah, you know, I like this game. I really do. It's a fun game. It gives me that sense of being able to play World of Warcraft, but have unique ways of doing it, and I don't have to pay for it. Like, I don't. So it's really nice, and I really like this game. I like a lot of the classes. There are some classes that, you know, after figuring out the Necromancer or the Pyromancer, I'm gonna have to go back and relook at some of these other classes and be like, bro, why do, you know, what am I doing wrong that makes this class feel so slow and sluggish? You know, is it me, or is it the actual class? You know what I mean? And so once I get some of that done, I'm going to have to also then go, let's see, you're a Pyromancer, you're a Pyromancer. See, this is what I was wanting to do with my friend Devin. I was wanting to have 2 Pyromancers, but he decided to make, I don't even remember what he decided to make. Oh, he was doing the Blood Mage, and he was gonna go healer. But yeah, so that's my 2 cents. That's my 20 questions. If you guys think of any other questions you want to ask me, it doesn't matter what the question is, feel free to ask it. Put it down in the comment section below. I always read the comment section. I always try to respond to said comments in a timely fashion. So yeah, never be too scared to ask me anything. It could be as simple as saying, hey, I want to play with you. I want to run some dungeons with you. I want to pick your brain on what you think this class can do or that class can do, whatever. I'll like, I'm not scared to talk to y'all. I really am not. So yeah, that's where we're at. So I hope to see you guys in the next one. I think I'll be streaming for a little while some ESO because I want to get some sky shards and some books done today, and see where I can go from there. But I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you didn't, let me know. If there's a build that you want to see me play, or you want my opinion on a certain class, let me know that too. But I will catch you heroes in the next one. Peace out, guys.